Welcome back, comic book community. This is Travis Grant, your friendly neighborhood comic book nerd. And today we are looking at Xforce #1 by good old Rob Liefeld here. And check that out. It's a double spread cover, man. I always like when comic books do cool gimmicks like this. Man, it's so cool. Got the whole group there, and there's no feet. Rob doesn't do feet. You had to point that out. Everybody has to point that out. So here we go. It's a force to be reckoned with here. We start out, we're in Antarctica. The whole crew's here. Cable's telling her, hey, this is what we trained for, yada, yada, yada. And then you turn the page and you get this awesome two-spread page. And it's telling it. And if you never picked up the New Mutants or anything, you wouldn't know who the characters are. So they're kind of introduced in this second. You got a Cable, you Shadow Star. Got Boom Boom down here. Got Feral. Got Warpath. And Cannonball. And Domino. Right there. But isn't that cool? You get a really cool double pager. Like 2 pages in, you get a double pager. And you got a really awesome 2-pager spread. I love Xforce #1. It's so cool. It's a very awesome comic book. I really enjoy it. And then this panel is really the only panel you're seeing Cannonball in during this fight. And you get some Warpath, beating some guys up, and Boom Boom's doing her thing. She's telling them, hey, I'm gonna run out of bombs here, and Warpath's trying to make a joke, and you can't shut your mouth. And then Farrell's talking about you'd have to rip her tongue out, and she said, well, that's not really necessary, Farrell. Man, that's a cool little thing. So Shadowstar's saying Mark 32. He's not from around here. He's not from Earth. He's from outer space, and he's an alien. So he's not like. And Cable points out right here in this panel, say, hey, 1 o'clock, 12 o'clock. Don't use that marked garbage dot anymore. And he's like, understand. Can I attack now? Oh, and the bad guys get introduced here, which is kind of neat. They don't get a biggest spread as the X-Force do, but you got Forearms, Kamikaze. Wildside is kind of like the Feral guy, and you got the Reaper. And this is a neat panel too down here. They're in the shadows, and they're going in. These are after they get introduced. He's like, "Can I attack now?" So he's leaping forward, and they're going to attack. It's pretty straightforward on. And I thought this was the coolest dang thing as a kid when I got to this part, because it's a dude with swords. So you're thinking, oh man, it's kind of like a ninja, like Storm Shadow or something. He's a ninja, which name's Shadow Star. So you're like, okay, that's cool. And then you got this, I guess you want to call him a generic villain, and he has a scythe, but he's still pretty cool. He's kind of like a ninja kind of person too. And they're bantering, talking back and forth, but then you're just all of a sudden you're just like, oh my god, dude chopped his freaking hand off, and his hand's like just flying towards you like 3D, like some Jack Kirby art or something, you know, because Jack Kirby did all that 3D kind of stuff, you know, and it's you know, it's not that great, but it's still pretty good. I enjoy it. I enjoyed it as a kid. I thought it was awesome, and dude's holding his hand, and he's about ready to finish him off, and then you turn the page and you say, "Hey man, it's Xforce Rob Lee Liefeld Mutant Masterpiece." You know, it's the Mutant Masterpiece. It's the first issue, and he's already calling it a Mutant Masterpiece. But you could get a T-shirt. I wonder what the price of this thing is. $10.95 plus $3 shipping. $14 plus shipping and handling. And then California residents, please add 6.5% sales tax. You're really hosing you guys down in California. So then I don't know. Let's see how he gets away. I guess he just kicks him. The dude just like gives a kick to him, and he's like, forearms wraps Cable up, and he's saying, "Hey man, you're pretty strong, but you're not as strong as the Warpath." The Warpath just pops him. He's going flying. It's a pretty good little panel too. I like the colors of it. They kind of blend in, so I don't know why he kind of picked the colors, but it kind of blends in with the action. I don't know, but it works. It works for me. Kapow! So then it goes from that to one of these big giant meat Strife here, and I forgot what that girl's name is. Thumbelina. I think she can. I forget her mutant powers. I don't know if she can teleport or do something. I think she does something important. But I like this. I like this part. I like this fight. This one's pretty good. I like that art right there of Feral jumping and fighting the other guy. I forget what his name. Wildside, I believe his name is, because he's kind of like the same as Feral. So they're kind of the two ninja guys are fighting, and then the two cat people, the wild people, you know, are fighting. I like Feral's design. He's like grabs them. She says something about the cat got your tongue, I think. What's the matter? Cat got your tongue. Yeah, it's a little joke. What's the matter? Cat got your tongue. And, you know, it punches the shit out of him. And that's always fun. And then Feral, do you kill him? What the heck? It says, Feral, do you kill him? Let's see. Feral. Oh, did you kill him? I thought it said, do you kill him? I don't have my glasses on. And he's like, no, but I gave him a minute. No, but if you give me a minute, yeah. Oh. No, but I didn't kill him, but if you give me a minute, I will. And then you get a pretty good little page of the team. But where the hell's Cannonball at? I don't know. You got Domino back there, and the rest of them. You don't have Cannonball. So then this guy shows up. He's teleporting the guys out of there, and they're like, "Hey, where the heck they're going?" And you know, and then Strife shows up. You got a good little page of Cable shooting his gun at Strife, and I guess these are the energy bullets, and they get away. It's cloudy. You don't have to draw feet when you put some clouds in there. But, you know, he can draw feet. Look, he's drawing feet right there, and it's fine. He's drawing feet on Boom Boom, too. That's fine. That's kind of weird right there. That's a weird foot. But nevertheless, it's fine. So, during all this fighting, if you didn't notice, they had like a countdown because Strife is set a destruction sequence, and while they're fighting and everything is counting down, and they're like, "Hey, we need to get out of there." So Cable does a little thing and it ports them out. They get back to the ship and they're zipping away. Kind of like this panel. It's not too bad because it's like she's in the shadows of the cockpit in the jet, and they're in the background, and it shouldn't it be the opposite? Like they're more brighter, and since they're in the background, they'd be in the shadows. I don't know. It's kind of, but I like this one because they're both in the shadows of the thing. So it's kind of neat. I guess the color of the light inside the jet is a red tint. So everybody has like a red tint to them. It's kind of weird. They're back in Manhattan now. It says back in Manhattan. And you get Gideon and Sunspot. They're doing their karate thing. I guess Sunspot and Gideon are really cool. Close. And they're fighting, and they're saying something about they're going to take over some stock. They're going to a trade thing, and they're going to buy out a company. Who knows? It's just probably part of the plot. Then you get these government agents here, and they're talking about, well, it looks like Mutant Liberation Front, one of their headquarter bases has been attacked. And we get introduced to this guy. We don't really know his name yet, but he tells this other guy, "Don't call me Commander, just call me George." And then it goes, well, meanwhile, at another base, and it's the Xforce's base, and they're telling like their headquarters and all the stuff they have, and then they're in the garage, and then they're Cannonball's talking to Cable, and he's like, "Can I ask you a question?" And he's talking about, and it's setting up a different issue. I think it's issue number 8. But he's telling them about this guy here, and they were part of the. He said, "Well, tell me about your son," and he wasn't really his son. He was kind of like his his buddy, you know. It wasn't his son, but they had a falling out, and he joined the Mutant Liberation Front. It's a pretty good drawing of. Cannonball. Domino shows up, says, "Hey, they're having a meeting up there. You need to join them." They get to start. He darts off there. Domino's saying, "Hey, man, you need to tell them." It's like, "Hey, what are you doing? You're gonna." They talk about it, and she's like, "You need to really tell them what you're up to, you know, once they find out," or something. And he says the bark is nothing compared to my bite, their bark. So he's not gonna, you know, he's not gonna tell them the whole story because nobody's really even asking. Then we have like a flashback where we got the other part here. We're going to the buyout with Gideon and Sunspot. I think it was Janko or Jinko or something they were buying out. And Janko's. And she's like, "Hey, I'm not selling out, but here's this counter offer I got you guys are gonna have to listen to." And it wasn't much. It wasn't much of a counter offer. He's just like, "My pleasure. Assure you that everything that she does not lose her side of the deal." And they're just like, "Hey, let's wait and see what happens here." But nothing major plays out. It's probably picked up in another issue. I don't know. We're going back to George. He's in his helicopter, I guess, and that's a big helicopter bay, I guess. He's inside the helicopter. But that seems like it's such a big space inside a helicopter. That doesn't make any damn sense. But he's talking to Nick Fury, and he's telling him, hey, it looks like the base has been destroyed, and they were talking about bigger than John Hancock. It was Cable. And he's like, well, you got to stop him. And then Nick Fury is giving him the okay. And he's like, well, it's time to call in Weapon X. And then it's to be continued in the next episode. Next volume. Or next number 2 of Xforce. It's just pretty neat because you didn't really know too much about these characters, or if it was your first X-Force comic book, and this is X-Force number 1, and they're trying to like, hey, look, they're trying to give you a little breakdown of these characters. You got Shadow Star and obviously Deadpool and Feral, and they're like file cards. And then you got Bridge, GW, George Washington Bridge. And cool. And you got Deathlock. It's coming out. Awesome. In May. Then you turn the page. You got X-Men number 1 is coming too. Awesome. Man, the 90s was pretty damn lit, wasn't it? Video game ad. So that's X-Force number 1. Hope you enjoyed. Like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and love you. Bye.